Hello my magical light beings, and welcome all to this video today. My name is Julitta. Welcome to this channel. This channel is all about magical consciousness, and in today's video we will go on a walk, talk, vlog. It is morning time. I'm still waking up. I'm doing my best. And today we will go into another story about my spiritual awakening, what I experienced. Today we're going to go into 2020. You see by the title of this video, going into the rabbit hole of information. Yeah, that happened for me in 2020. It's amazing because the skies are blue, the sun is out, and I was like, oh my god, I can go to the forest to see the change of colors of the trees and the sun, and that is always so beautiful and magical. So I'm very excited to as well show you guys those beautiful autumn vibes today. Yeah, it's always so interesting how I come to these points for these videos. For example, this morning I woke up, and we can all probably resonate in this time on this planet, that sometimes you wake up and you're like, why am I here again? What is this life about? Is there any point? You know? And then I was like, okay, come back. So I took a moment to just breathe, to sit, to remember why I was here. And then I was like, what is the most exciting thing for me today? Sharing this experience today, because I feel like that's one of the reasons I'm here, to, you know, share these experiences that I go through. So let's go. We made it to the forest on this early morning. Me, an autumn tree. Is this the next evolution? Do we get this long legs? Literally see how cold it is. A lot of people will probably encounter this moment in their journey, in their spiritual awakening journey, of going into the rabbit hole. And the first time I heard that, it was Aaron Dowdy that said that, going into the rabbit hole. I was like, what the heck is he talking about? You know? I was like, Alice in Wonderland, she went into the rabbit hole. So yeah, if you're watching, or you went through this, or you are about to go through it, who knows, you are about to turn into Alice. And I must say, it's not really Wonderland. Going into the rabbit hole is kind of a different way of saying going in information cycle, loop, hole. As for me, this happened already in 2019, a little bit here and there. Some like sprinkles of information, of course, like I told, but the moment in 2020 where a lot happened in the world, you know, things started to change, and we started to, you know, encounter the event that has taken over the whole world already. For me, it was after I went to Mallorca in 2020. That was in February or March or April. I don't even know anymore. Yeah, it was February. February 2020. I went to Mallorca, came back, lockdown happened, all of that, and so I was really lucky to still have experienced that before. Like, there was nothing going on in Mallorca and stuff like that, and came home, and so all of a sudden the craziness happened. And in the Netherlands, after I came back from that trip, was a monthly trip. In that trip in 2020, I saw so many things in regards to myself, my limiting beliefs, my traumas, all that actually was holding me back in living my life in the best way. And then I came home and I got out of that. But then I had, like, in Mallorca, set for myself this vision of that what I would love to experience in 2020, and I feel like a lot of us can resonate that. It was like, look at that. without realizing this is what I just walked through. Wow, oh my god. That is so beautiful. This is such a big zoom in. Okay, that's outstandingly miraculous. To go on with my story, I came home, had this vision, and then bam, you know what happened. And a lot of us probably had that too, and it really can, and it did really mess up myself, my mind, and all of that a lot of times actually throughout the year of 2020 and as well still 2021. And I feel like a lot of us are going through that actually right now. You know, it's like we had something in mind, but other stuff happened. But that does not mean it will not happen. Maybe things will even happen in a way more beautiful way. And why I'm telling this is because this event, we all know, I'm not gonna say the words because, you know, we all know that they're on the lookout for these things. And I really don't mind actually not saying these things. For me, it's just important that people still become aware of all of this, you know. And that's what I had this morning. I was like, I did not came here to stay silent about these things. You know, they do their best to keep us silent in a way, but do you really think that will stop love? No, not at all. So yeah, I do my best, and I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. If not, ask a friend. They probably know. I'm about to walk through that portal over there. Wow. And so I came home, the thing happened. I get distracted so much here because everything is so beautiful. I literally look at the ground. This beautiful red mushroom is over there. I'll show it in a moment. So this happened in the Netherlands, you know, everywhere it happened in different timing. And this thing for me for a few months actually, I was just sitting at home. I did not really know, you know, a lot of mind stuff was going on as well. And I can remember that I made this video on my birthday of 2020 where I made this funny video where I was kind of like in fear and stuff like that, and I was like, whoa, I look back at that, I was just very shocked in regards to my mindset and state of being, that I did really change from that point. And so then after that, as you know, we start to think, we're like, why is this happening? We all will probably do this. Why is this actually, you know, not everybody will do this. Only people that are like, you know, kind of already a little bit looking from a higher perspective, they're like, why is this all actually happening? I don't understand. I had something in mind for my life, but now it's kind of ruined, you know, in that way. And then we start to think why that happens. And that's what I did. And then so these little pieces of information that I already received in 2019 about, you know, everything that is maybe hidden from us, about the world, about society, about the planet, then I started to ask questions and I wanted answers. I wanted answers on these questions. So, you know, that's kind of the fun thing about going into the rabbit hole. It is partly divine, it's partly planned, it's partly, you know, us being guided, our soul guiding us into these pieces of information, but it's as well us deciding upon information to, it's as well us as humans deciding to go search and to go to the internet and to look up different things and to ask these questions and to see what other people are saying as well about it. So I started to have a lot of questions, and I just started to look at information, and my close friends, she did the same thing because we kind of went through the same thing, and she was sending me information and I was sending her information, and then all of a sudden you go into a very deep place of all this information and you come to a point where this information is just so shocking to your system because it's really dense and it's really heavy, and it's a lot of people, you know, these pieces of information are probably called conspiracy theories and stuff like that, and I want to share something about that. But it's stuff that a lot of people don't know, and it's as well a lot of information that we actually don't want to know. Our mind is like, oh no, this is way too much. This is really making me feel a certain way that I really don't like. And I had that too, but for some reason these pieces of information were actually really interesting to me. I was kind of passionate about being in a rabbit hole. Like I was like, oh my god, is this what it's all about? Is this what's happening here? Damn. And it kind of activated my mission, my starseed mission in a sense, even more. That I was like, oh, okay, now I understand why I'm here. And that leads me to, you know, me this morning. I woke up, I was like, because yesterday I kind of had this moment where I was a little bit sad about everything, and those moments are really powerful, because if we don't start to drown into the sadness, we just release, like I cried, and then remember, like if we start to ask ourselves, why am I here then? What can I do? I start to think, what can I do about all of this? La, 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 la. But that is really about, you know, if you really remember your mission, your purpose, what really sparks you, because that is exactly what you should follow, be, however you want to say that. I got into all this information, and then we kind of have to have this moment where we have received all this information and kind of stop it. That's what I did. I just had to stop and then take it all in, and then, you know, we have to discern and we have to sit with it and kind of transmute it in a way, all this information. That's what I did in 2020. Like when I received all that information, I had to see what resonated with me, what aligned with my personal truths in a sense. And you know, that is the part where a lot of people can maybe, you know, do you know where it is kind of, you know, the moment where you have to say stop, I have to take a moment for myself. And so in 2020 I went into the rabbit hole, very dark stuff. Like I went vegetarian, vegan that year. Yeah, a lot happened actually. So much information that's kind of traumatizing in a way. It's really, really, really intense stuff that I've seen and things I went into, and I'm very happy that I saw that, because it just makes you really aware. Like the people that kind of avoid that, if they are not willing to look at it, it's, you know, it's in the sense that they're ignoring the fact that these things are happening. And you know, some people would say, yeah, but they're just theories, like it's not really happening. But that's what I said, it's the discernment. For me personally, with these types of information, I had moments where I was like, whoa, I really just know, my third eye knows this is happening, and I have not yet even seen it in real life. I hope I will not, but I am actually seeing it, and we are all actually experiencing it. But it's so well it's so well like created for us to think it's like coming from good places, but it's really not. And that's what I had in 2020, and that really activated me to even go like more into creating content and videos. I started my YouTube channel in 2020, you know, the end, but I already made videos on Instagram the beginning of that year. It just really was that activation that I needed, and it activates me every time. Like every time I feel like giving up on this, on what I'm doing, on life, I think about why I came here, all that I've seen, and then I'm like, I'm here because that should not repeat itself. And you know, that's very cool, and that can happen from going into the rabbit hole. And it's kind of, I feel like, the purpose of going into the rabbit hole that we strengthen our connection to our own truths, because the rabbit hole is information all outside of ourselves. There's so much information out there, and I received information that I was like, I don't know about this, you know. And it's a good test of intuition, learning, discernment, and knowing for yourself what you resonate with. And that's what I had from going into the rabbit hole. And I actually kind of went in a tiny rabbit hole this year, but I was like, no, I don't feel like this is for me. So that's where I kind of stopped. And it really helped me to stay grounded and centered, and it was for me a learning test of staying centered within myself, not allowing myself to kind of like allow myself to get carried away with information outside of myself. You know, will we get carried away? And it's not to say that that will not be divine, because I feel like a lot of it has its own purpose, and if we are meant to come back to love our center, you know, the voice within our truth, we will, like 100%. If we have awakened to our inner truth, there is no way we will ever be able to like fall away from that. There has to be this inner knowing that always will be telling you like, hey, I'm still here. So, you know, that's what happens in 2020 for me, partly, and a lot of other stuff, beautiful stuff happened in 2020 that I'm so excited to talk about, actually, because so much positivity, and not even like, I could not even say it was positive, but it was just so much manifestations of love happened in 2020, even though the world was going through it. I never felt better than ever in my life, actually. So yeah, that's very cool to me. But yeah, going through that rabbit hole of information about all kinds of different stuff, yeah, if you're going through that, if you are in the midst of the rabbit hole, just allow yourself to take moments where you're just totally cut out from all the information, and to come back to yourself and to see for yourself what is like resonating with you or not. That's what I learned from it, and as well to stay true to your own knowing, you know. People from the outside can really say like, this is what you should do, this is it, this is what it's all about, this is happening, you should go, you know. But for me, sometimes that's not really coming from a place of love, more of ego and control, and really see how you can detect that kind of energy for yourself. That's what I learned in 2020, kind of detecting, or is it coming from fear or from love? Is it like control, or is it really truth? And you know, that's just very beautiful, and I'm so happy that I experienced that, even though it was all really intense. And I've seen horrifying images and videos and stories, but still it was for me in that way to receive all of that. What I as well learned from it is that's all not me, and it's not even part of me, and this world and what's all happening here, it's not even part of Gaia, it's not even part of the planet, because that's the point of the rabbit hole. It is all that is being done on this planet. It's not the planet itself, you know. And that's why we're here, because to remind people that all these things, all this conditioning, all this programming, the society, it's all not from this planet. It's all being put onto this planet, and that's, you know, the main thing for me as well, to remind people like, everything that we think, what we have learned, you know, it's really the questioning. It's like questioning all that we have learned and all we have received throughout our life. Was that really true? And that's what I had in 2020. I just started to question every single detail about my life, every single detail about other people, their lives, about the world, about society, about how the programming of, okay, go to school, go study, you have a job, you get married, you got kids, and then, you know, you quit working, you work, you know, it's, you live for working. But for me, that's what I had in 2020, this remembrance of, I'm here to live life, not to work, you know. And for example, this is not work to me, this is me living my life in the best way I can. And you know, that's what I've remembered. And that kind of conditioning, it's all that we all question those things, like, why are schools telling us that we have to study? Why are our parents telling us that we should find a husband? You know, the crazy stuff, and just way more than only that. And you know, all these things that are being shown to us by the government, and all of that, that's just what I all become so aware of in 2020. And I'm so grateful that I went through that rabbit hole, because yeah, it really made me like rise my perspective, and as well it takes so much open-mindedness to receive all of that. So apparently I could be open-minded about all of it, even though it scared me a lot of the times too, and it hurted me and made me cry like for hours and stuff like that, to know that these things are happening here. And you know, that's part of it too, to allow yourself to release all the grief and sadness and pain that comes with all these programming and conditioning and all these happenings that are on this planet. You know, that's really part of it too for me, and I still do. Like yesterday, for example, I just cried for like 2 minutes, and that made me already feel so much better, because I know it's not me, these things, and it's just these moments of awareness that I'm like, I am, you know, a being of love. I'm not this cold hardness energy that's being brought to us on this planet. That's not who we are. And you know, the moment you know that, there's no going back. And that's with the rabbit hole. It's like, once you fall, and there's no going back from that point. If you know these things, you know these things. This is what I had. I could not go back to eating meat after what I've seen videos of animals and stuff like that. There was just no way, and your life will never be the same. And that's with the rabbit hole. If you go into the rabbit hole, your life will never be the same. And for me, I'm very happy that it's not like that anymore, that I know now about these things, and I can better my life, and I, you know, can eat more healthy, and I can think more beneficial things for myself, and to choose things from a place of love and awareness instead of ignorance and just walking away from all the darkness, because it's just a remembrance that we are not this darkness. That is so helpful, that we are the light. And you know, that's what this YouTube channel is about, to follow your inner lights. But to follow your inner lights, you have to kind of awaken to your inner light. So yeah, that's kind of the fun thing of this whole story, is that people have come to me and asked me, do you think that's true? Do you think this is happening? Do you think that? And I always just say to them, like, you know the truth. Because we all probably will resonate with stuff in a different way, and I cannot say if something is true or not. I just know intuitively for myself, and that's enough, you know. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to say like, yeah, I think because no, just say I believe this is true, and that's it. You know. And that's what I learned as well that year. And wow, being I'm not here to tell you what's true or not. I would just share, of course, what resonates. Whoa. Welcome, we are Julitta Light. I'm here to, of course, share what resonates with me personally. But always, that's why I say, you know, always use your own discernment. And the only thing that I want to bring with this video is to say, not everything is what it seems. Just allow yourself to ask questions about life. Be curious. Allow yourself to search and find for yourself, to do, you know, to go on your own journey of exploration, and to look beyond what you have learned and know, and to see for yourself, and to know, yeah, like I said, that's the sentence, not everything is what it seems. And there are a lot of hidden things on this planet that I was not aware of for many years, and we all will be guided on our journey to that what we need to know for our journey to continue, you know what I mean? And so yeah, that's what I want to share today, the story about going into the rabbit hole on my spiritual awakening journey. It's so amazing to be sharing these things, and thanks so much for watching, for receiving this video today, receiving the beauty of this planet, nature, the sun coast. Like, I am so grateful that the sun is giving me so many beautiful sights. Like, wow. If you want to like, subscribe to the channel, that would be so great. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I wish you all a beautiful, magical day.